not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
Hey, the Monty Show live on Tuesday, June 2nd. I know I say this every day. It is already Tuesday, June 2nd. Incredible that we are already in month 6 of 2026 right here on the Monty Show, presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business, 24/7, 365. And again, here we are entering the 100 most dangerous days of the year. That means there's a lot more people on the road with a lot more time to drive like idiots. And that means you need to be careful. And if the worst happens, get the best at theadvocates.com. So as you go through your day today and all the kids are out, they're on their scooters, they're on their bicycles, they're playing hoops in the driveway, whatever it might be, just slow down. Don't be distracted. Put the phone down when you're driving. Focus on the road. But if you get into an accident, don't believe that your insurance company is going to fight for you. Don't believe that your insurance company is going to pay you what you have deserved and you have earned, because you didn't deserve to get in an accident, but you do deserve an advocate. Clear, risk-free advice 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. Jake has decided that the show sucks and he doesn't want to be here anymore. Or maybe his power just went out. One of the two. You decide. So let's rock and roll. It'll just be me and you, one-on-one. And now our guy, Mike Smith, who you are well aware is a hillbilly from coal cleaning country. Michael, I want you to know, if you are in fact here today, and I don't know if Mike Smith, I don't know if Mike is here on the show this morning, but Mike, I am going to do something specifically to please you, because as we get ready to talk about the college football playoff and just how long it's going to be this year, and it's going to be long, make no mistake about it, Mike, this is one of the single greatest videos that I have ever seen. And I immediately thought, bro, if that does not get you fired up, how good is that? How good is that? And the first thing that I thought of is, because I am a huge NHL fan, and when you hear that, and you hear, because what you really hear there is an entire fan base coming together after an incredible game, and it's just incredible to hear them together, unifying, singing Country Road. Like it's amazing, right? It is just, I liken it to, if you're, the Bell Center in Montreal and you hear them singing "Oh Canada," I think it is very similar to that. And that passion that comes out, or it's incredible to hear that power and that passion come through. And I'm telling you, there is a bunch of college baseball and softball going on in this country right now that you're not paying attention to, that you're not. And I am telling you, you should be paying attention to it, because I think it is one of the absolute best. It is one of the absolute best moments. Like, you look at, yeah, Mike, there he is. Yeah. One of the best traditions. And that's maybe inside of this college football playoff conversation, that's maybe one of the most important points of this whole thing, is that we're losing traditions with all this nonsense about money and all this nonsense about what's really important. It is that kind of moment for West Virginia. And you look at the Mia Williams home run, this whole Jason Williams, White Chocolate, the Hooper. His daughter's a really high-level softball player at Texas Tech. And look at this moment yesterday. It's unbelievable, dude. The entire, just the madness. And then listen to Mia Williams after she hits this home run. She's talking about her softball coach, but I think she's talking about a lot more than that.
The best decisions I ever made. This is probably the best coach I ever played for. He just believes in me so much, and it makes me emotional talking about it, because just having that feeling of someone believing in you is just one of the best things ever, and I love him.
God damn. She is crying over a softball coach because everything she's been through with between Florida and Texas Tech, and her dad, obviously a huge Florida alum, and the controversy where he's saying he's not giving them another penny of his money because of the way they treated his daughter. And then for her to come up and go bombs, and the roof comes off the place. Like, I'm telling you, softball and baseball in college is incredibly underrated. It is incredibly underrated. And if you're not paying attention to it, I just wholeheartely believe you're missing out. And if the West Virginia singing as one, Mia Williams, like all of these moments, this is what I always tell you about Chicago, right? As a Cubs season ticket holder, and why it sucks so bad that I don't have greatness in my sports fandom right now. When you win a game at Wrigley Field and you sing, the song with everybody at Wrigley Field and Go Cubs Go, and there is something where we all come together around sports. And it's that feeling, this is going to be awkward, that tingling in your loins that you get when Mia Williams hits that home run, or you're sitting there with 10,000 of your closest friends singing about, West Virginia. That's what makes sports great. That's what makes it great. And I'm telling you, we're losing that. We are losing that. 100% we're losing that. And a lot of it is the college football playoff. And this TV schedule that was released did nothing but throw kerosene all over the fire in the argument about the college football playoff and needing reform. And you look at all of this, and you quickly begin to understand that this is a long tournament. But should this be a short tournament? Because I don't have any problem with this. I'm going to be honest with you. This, obviously, as you see, runs from December 18th to January 25th. And the first thing that people started to, it's too long, Monty. These kids got class. They don't have class. Stop. Right? Are we really having it? Well, Monty, how are they supposed to study the spring semester? Nobody cares about the spring semester, bro. Nobody cares. Right? Like it's not something where we can continue to make arguments to make our argument. Let's just be honest about where we are and what it is we are doing in college. We're not worried about education anymore. And let's stop this charade that this schedule that you're looking at somehow just, Monty, we can't do this because if we allow it to end so late, Monty, the kids, that nobody cares. Nobody cares. Right? And if you really pay attention to this, it's not that you're on campus for the first two rounds. Then for New Year's, right, you're in Tempe, what are we really talking about? Then you're off for 2 weeks. It's not like you're on the road for 6 weeks. Can we just be adults for once instead of trying to find ways to argue and say things that help us even though we know they're not accurate? I love the argument yesterday that, these kids are going to be distracted for 6 weeks. You think they're not going to be distracted if they weren't playing football? And for most of this time, they wouldn't be on campus anyways because it's the Christmas break. It's football. And I have no problem with the time. Now, having said that, when you look at the schedule, would it be nice if we could consolidate this into a month? Yes. But can I ask you, why are we in such a hurry to make sure that college football is not played on New Year's Day anymore? Why are we in such a hurry to try and just force this through, and we can't be playing football after New Year's? Because that was a major argument when this was released yesterday. We can't be playing football after New Year's. Why not? What's the hurry? My argument in this schedule would be, why are we playing in December 18th? Like, I don't understand why we're trying to force this into some arbitrary 4-week window. Yeah, I guess it'd be nice if it was more compressed. But does this, if this bothers you, this is a you problem. Right? Like, I think if this is something that pissed you off yesterday, and it seems like on Twitter there were a lot of people, this is just incredible how long this is. Shut up. There's no problem with this. None whatsoever. You should be inflamed that truTV is on this graphic multiple times. Does anybody watch truTV outside of the tournament and apparently now the college football playoff? Because I'm not watching truTV. I'm not even sure what's on truTV. Yet apparently it's a major sports hub now. Okay, you do you, bud. I am not going to. That is my biggest issue, is I am not going to truTV to watch pretty much anything. Not interested in that. Right? Put it on ABC and ESPN, and I mean all of it. And if it makes you more money to spread it around, okay, I totally get that, but I'm not watching truTV. My luck, Notre Dame will be the game on truTV, and I'll have no choice. But it is what it is. So where are you guys on this schedule? Obviously, this does not address buys. This schedule that was released does not address the gap between December 18th and December 30th, and the gap of teams that get the buys from the first week of December all the way to December 30th in the quarterfinals. That's a long time. You're talking about a month again. And I don't know how you fix that. I don't know how you fix that. And is shortening that up going to fix that? No, I got news for you. It's not going to fix that. You can shorten up the playoff and whatnot. You're still going to have playing games. You're still going to have teams that get 2-3 weeks off. I am in the belief. I will go with this tinfoil hat nonsense. I am amongst those who believe that the month off hurts the team that's taken the month off. We've seen that repeatedly. I don't think that's an accident. You're asking 18 to 25-year-olds to sit on campus and do what? And I would assume some of them go home for Christmas, I would think, but that's awfully difficult when your first game is December 30th. So my guess is you're home pre-Christmas, and then, maybe you're taking 3, 4, 5 days off for Christmas and you come back. But the problem is then you're playing December 30th or January 1st. So the week leading up to that, you're in full game mode. So is it ideal? No. Are you making an insane amount of money to sacrifice? Yes. It's what being a professional athlete's about, particularly being a professional athlete in the NBA and in the NFL and now in college football. You're going to miss holiday time. I think any of us would trade tens of millions of dollars to play football on December 30th. I think we could probably figure that out. Right? So where are you guys at? Hit the like button. Please, it really helps the channel grow if you're just tuning in. Jake has decided that he doesn't want to do the show anymore. So he's not here today. He said he didn't feel like it, So it's fine. My problem with the CFB playoff, the college football playoff, isn't length, it's girth. Well, I mean, it is thick. It's thick enough that it's reaching out to truTV. Is there anybody who's going to subscribe to HBO Max? No, because you're just going to flip on TNT. This is probably too far off the reservation. I'm going to say again, I hate the way we're forced to watch TV. I hate the way we're forced to TNT or truTV or HBO Max or Skinamax or Pornhub. Can probably get the halftime show is on OnlyFans, right? Like, I feel like that's what we do now, to watch TV. And as much as the sarcasm, length, and girth, it worked there, Gabe. So I appreciate that. But I hate the way we have to watch TV now. I don't like that. Like, one of the things we've been looking at our finances lately, and because we're trying to purchase an investment property. And one of the things we're looking at is, okay, well, like, where do we really spend our money? An exercise I would encourage you not to do. But where do you really spend your money? Digital entertainment, things like YouTube TV, HBO Max, Paramount, The Cock, all of that. That's where most of my money is spent. And frankly, I get a lot of it reimbursed to me through American Express. Because American Express, if you're not a platinum card holder, you're doing it wrong. I'm just telling you right now, if you're not a platinum card holder, you're doing it wrong. You should be a platinum card holder. It's amazing. So I get a lot of that reimbursed. I think a lot of you know I have an LLC. So I run all of my related expenses, whether that's ESPN Plus, ESPN.com, ESPN, Disney, Hulu, Simba, all of that is a tax write-off for me. It's an expense in my business. That doesn't mean I don't have to pay it. And digital entertainment is one of the most expensive things on a monthly basis that I pay for. And I hate the way we are forced to watch TV. It absolutely drives me crazy. 100%. San Diego State Glen, Costco money, that's where my money gets spent, dude. We're standing in line at Costco. It's funny what happens, you guys. It's funny what happens when you start like meal prepping and eating healthier. When you start meal prepping and you start eating healthier, are you not in full judgment mode of that idiot in front of you who's got, a box of Lego waffles? He's got all kinds of croissant, Danishes. This dude in front of us had at Costco the double pack of croissants, the double pack of Danish, all kind of ground beef, steak, all kinds of, like, a double loaf of just pure white bread, whole milk, 2 gallons, the 2-gallon box of whole milk. Like, cholesterol all over the place. Heart disease all over the place. And I am hardcore judging him. I don't have to worry about this line for much longer. He's going to be dead. Right? Like, it's terrible. But I'll also tell you, you're not getting out of Costco without spending $200. You're not getting out of Costco for under $2. It's not happening. And what did I buy? I bought ashwagandha. I bought Advil. I bought grapes. Like, just things. Bananas. A fillet of halibut. $200. Didn't even buy a flat of Monster. None of that. Bought like 5 things and it was $200. And I'm like, that's a grip for nothing. My cart, I didn't even need a buck. Do you need a box, bro? No. I can carry it in one hand. That'll be $200, please. Like, are you serious right now? Yes. And then it's always that moment. And you guys know this moment. The bro at Costco hands you the receipt and you're like, what did I buy? Goddamn well knowing what you bought because the cart's right there. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. Turning into judgment guy reminds me of the old George Carlin bit where anybody driving slower than you is an idiot and anyone driving faster than you is a maniac. That's exactly right. It's exactly right. You know, you don't know if he was selling that or not. Also, why judge? Well, because I'm an asshole. That's why I judge. Now you can tell the guys that are selling because dudes that go to Costco to like stock their convenience store, which you see all the time in that joint, those dudes are getting flats of water, flats of Coke, flats of Monster, not cocaine like Coca-Cola. They're getting, like the other day I saw a guy buying, those big orange carts they have at Costco? He's got a bunch of water. He's got a bunch of soda. He's also got 2 full boxes of bananas. Like, the dudes that are there stocking the convenience store or that have a food cart. You know what I mean? Like, the dudes who are in it for the commercial business. This dude was just fat and he's going to die soon. And that's probably too much. Too much. I got YouTube Premium and the Monty Show subscriptions. And the Monty Show sometimes runs short a few days when I buy too many movies and books. Well, stay out of the adult arcades. Save yourself some money. And run short on Google Play money. Okay. Bailey Dietrich. Hello. How about Myles Garrett, Bailey? We got to get to that trade. Why not just put college football on Fox Sports and ESPN instead of truTV, dude? Probably because Fox doesn't want to pay for it. And if you look back and you start to understand this schedule, this is new money, right? The TNT, truTV, HBO Max family, that's all one group. That was new money when the deal was made. That's why it's not on Fox, right? They didn't want to pay for it, which, I mean, to a certain extent, I understand. Fox has a massive investment in a lot of different things. I'm telling you, if you're a channel, if you're ABC Disney, it's tough to make money. ESPN prints money, but that's because we all watch games. If you're HBO Max, how are you making money right now? If you're DirecTV Stream, how are you making money right now? If you're Apple TV, nobody watches MLS on Apple TV. I mean, it's a complete failure, in my opinion. How are you making? Do you know how expensive content is? It's ridiculous. And yet, who's actually paying for that cost? We are. Because the subscriptions are going up. There's no question about that. D-Rock Irish, TBS, hey, Randy Duffy. Oh, look at this, a Texas Tech logo today. I have an HBO Max membership to watch Sydney Sweeney's incredible talent on Euphoria. Her assets, Cryptic says I already have HBO, as do I. Do you know what I watch most on HBO? International House Hunters. That's what I watch most. Not gonna lie. truTV used to be a bunch of reality shows that turned out to be fake scripted shows. I hate that so much. I do. PGA Superstore and Shields prevents me from having investment properties. Dude. Both are Costco level spend experiences every time I walk in. It is outrageous how expensive golf is. Don't even get me started. That's a tangent we don't have time for. Welcome to the nightmare. Look at the Chrome Dome. Digital entertainment is definitely something that seems to be getting out of hand. Yes. Jeremiah Champion, honestly, we're paying about as much for cable TV to have as many streaming services as we have, but we also tried to bundle a lot of these streaming services into internet or phone. Well, there is that. I guess we shouldn't have made fun of Jake's backdrop. No, he quit. He said that you guys were mean to him and he couldn't take the heat. So he stepped out of the kitchen. He's big time Kansas City guy now. Doesn't have time for us little heathens. God, it sounds humid just saying the word Kansas City. Although it's going to be 90 degrees in Seattle today, allegedly. Allegedly. Rock and Rant, speaking of humidity, where do you live? Are you in SoFlo? Where are you at? People confuse the issue with Fox in the playoff. Remember, to get it going, they had to keep the New Year 6 ball games in which ESPN owns. Fox didn't want to just get early games. Correct. Yeah, it was the negotiation, the money, it's billions of dollars, bros. Like, make no mistake about it. We're not living in a time where things are ever going to get cheaper. We're going to pay more, and we're going to continue to pay more, and we're going to normalize paying more. So the prices are never going to come down. They're never going to come down. I'm just telling you right now. It is, whether it's butt wipes, rotisserie chicken, or gas. It's not, with whatever the nonsense is in the Strait of Hormuz, prices are not going to come down. They're not. It's just it's who we are as a society. We're willing to pay more to go to games. We're willing to pay more to watch games. When's the price ever coming down? When is YouTube TV going to be like, yeah, you know what? We're charging too much. Let's lower the price of our subscriptions. Yeah, that's not fucking happening. That's not happening. When's Peloton going to be like, yeah, you know what? Monty's over here peddling away. Let's lower the subscription. That's never happening. You and I both know that. The price of beef, the price of chicken, it's not coming down. To the point where you jackwagons are willing to go. Did you guys see the Wingstop story the other day? Speaking of the price of chicken. See that? Wingstop uses mid-level Tyson chicken wings and drums. The same stuff you can go to the store and buy. And I forgive me if the numbers are wrong, but I believe you can go to the store, buy that same wing for 8 cents a wing. 8 cents a wing. You're paying $1 plus per wing at Wingstop. They're charging you 500%. Minimum 500%. And that's just on the chicken. That's not on the sauce. 500% markup if you go to Wingstop. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Right? I'm not doing it. That's exactly right. We're paying more and getting less. Oh, you dastardly figure. You're in SoCal. I'm jealous. I am so jealous. Oh, would love it. First Midwest tornado experience for Jake. At least he has someone to snuggle with, hiding in the bathtub. Exactly. To be clear, his power went out, like right when the show started. How about DirecTV raises prices on service, dude? They will again. I'm telling you, our biggest mistake is we continue to pay it. We continue to pay it. And I know you guys don't give a rat's ass about this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. How much TV have I watched this week? You know why? I'm studying for my real estate exam. So when I'm done working for the day, literally last night, here was my life. Done working around 5:35, 5:45, I think it was. I heated my meal prep, did not taste or chew it. I just opened the hatch and swallowed it. That's what she said. And then immediately got on the computer and opened up my workbook and blinked, and it was 8:30. Didn't watch a bit. And you know what the funny thing is? My wife and I are studying together. It's more quality time than watching House Hunters. Right? That's my life. That's the life. And you quickly understand, do you really need it? And I say this about the cell phone. You do a digital detox and you quickly get unaddicted to your cell phone and you realize how much you missed with your face planted in that screen. And having done it, I'm telling you, it's a major difference. It is a major difference. It's unbelievable. how much the difference is. But how about Red Raider softball? Dude, I played the home run. Like the Jason Williams, Mia Williams story is pretty incredible. I called it. Don't you love that people want to take pictures with him? Jason Williams, white chocolate. They want to take pictures with him because, his daughter just hit a home run in a softball game. Right? Like it's crazy to me. It is literally crazy to me. And everything that she's been through transferring from Florida to Tech, and Buddy yelling, "Let's go read a book." Bro. I mean, that's out of this universe. That is, every time I watch it, it just gets better. It just gets better. It just gets better, man. I'm telling you. It's just every time you watch it. Unfortunately, it really does feel like the middle class is being phased out 100%. Why do you think I'm doing like 8,000 things? You can't live in this country, and I can't believe. And Jake, who's abandoned the show, has said this 100 times, I think. You can't live on $100,000 anymore. Let that sink in. You cannot live in this country and be middle class on $100,000 anymore. You just can't afford to live with the way real estate is, rent and or mortgage, gas, food, medical, insurance. Can't afford that. Can't afford that. 100% I agree the middle class is getting pushed out. You know, Jeremiah, I hated SoCal when I was there last year. Dude, I love it. I love it. It's Seattle. It's what people say about Seattle. Is Seattle flawed? Yes. Is it a great place to live? Yes. Yes, it is. Is it expensive? Exorbitantly. Do we have a drug problem on the streets of Seattle? Yes. It's the first of the month. All the hooligans are out because they're getting their money, they're getting their handout. Does it suck that when I walk my dog this morning after the show, I am going to see people, I guarantee you, people will be in full fentanyl. People will be, we have these cement benches at bus stops and on corners. People will be passed out under those benches because it's the first of the month. That sucks. But I live in a major downtown metropolis. That's in pretty much every major downtown metropolis. The LA and Southern California, San Diego, where there is no middle class. Don't get it twisted. You don't even show up. Don't get off the plane if you don't make over $100,000 in Southern California. It's not worth it. You know. And shitification is prevalent in all industries. There you go. Doing your real estate exam plus Amazon and the show seems like a lot. It is a lot. And I work for a major tech company. It is a lot. But you want to have a lot? You got to make a lot. What choice do you have, right? I've read over 1,000 books. Definitely good to unplug. Yes, it is. Yeah. Today you need 2 jobs and look for a third, bro. What I'm telling you is, and we're way off the reservation now. Shocking. What I'm telling you is, it's not that you need a third. You need multiple income streams. My belief is that if you are not making, I think it's a minimum of $2 billion. If you're not making $200,000, you are questioning how you're paying for things. It's that bad right now in this country. If you're making $100,000, you have credit card debt, right? You have credit card debt. You are, I don't know how tight, but you're probably paycheck to paycheck. You're not saving money. You're probably not vacationing. And you've cut things out so that you can afford it. It just is what it is, right? Ken Maynor, hello. Texas Tech is one Lubbock book club away from AAU status. Bro. Really had to bring in AAU in the book club? Come on now. White Chocolate played basketball with Randy Moss. He did. Correct. Jake is busy eating roller dogs wrapped in Waffle House waffles, then smothered and covered. Truth. His power's not out. My power's out. Oh, sure it is. Sure it is. Try not to slice that ball too much off the second tee, okay, bud? Right? So let's get into it. College football playoff, December 18th, ends January 25th. Is that too long? Are you happy with that? Are you okay with that? Do you care that the college football playoff is on truTV? Because I'm here to tell you I do, because I'm not watching games on truTV. I'm just not. Right? It is. I'm not willing to do it. Unless it's Notre Dame. And even then, I'll probably watch it on HBO Max. It's easier for me at this point in my TV maturation. At this point, it's easier for me to get to HBO Max than it is to find TNT on YouTube TV. Because I'm not watching Charmed or whatever recycled 2010 show is currently running on TNT. I'm not doing it. So I can just turn on HBO Max with one button push. And that's what old Uncle Marty needs right now. I don't want to go. I'm not fishing, dude. I know how to get to HBO Max. Put Notre Dame on the cock. I know how to open Peacock. You know. You're extra spicy today, Monty. Trying. You know. I don't think it matters if we care or not. No, it really does not. It really does not. You know. I think the season ends too late relative to your expectations. Move everything up. Same amount of time is fine. I think the same amount of time is fine. I don't know why we start. Like I asked the NFL, why do you start in September? Why can you not start in middle of August? Right? I'm also a big believer that I don't need to see Notre Dame play Poughkeepsie State in week 0. Make every game matter. That's what I would say about it. Back it up a week or so. Championship game the week after New Year's Day. So we're saying back that ass up so that the national championship at the bottom there on ABC, ESPN, and the ESPN app, Allegiant Stadium, January 25th. You want it to be like the 5th of January. That's what you're telling me, which if we look at July, August, September, October, November, December, January, you would like it to be like Monday, January 4th. God, how hellacious would that be? We all went back to work, and that same night that we went back to work on the 4th, the first Monday of January, is the national championship game. That would be brutal. I agree. There's no reason to wait 2 weeks. And the other one I don't understand is the semifinal being on a Thursday and Friday. I still will never understand that. Isn't the 14th where I just put the calendar away? The 14th, yeah, the 14th is a Thursday and a Friday. Help me understand that again. Why are we doing it on a Thursday and a Friday? No idea. No idea. No clue. Ryan Duffy says the quarterfinals should be on campus too. You have to, well, Ryan, we have traditions and we have to shut up. I would love that. But the bowl games make college football a lot of money. You know. Cryptic Warden. Hey, the husband's watching with me this morning and says you have lost a lot of weight. Does he have cataracts? I'm kidding. I don't take compliments well. Thank you. Yes, I have lost a considerable amount of weight. I'm pushing 100 pounds lost. So we'll see. We'll see. I can tell you studying for a real estate license does not help you work out. And it is terrible for your golf swing. Just so you know. Right? The Bashir, how can it be sooner though? I think you take some of the downtime out. Look how many big gaps there are. The 19th to the 30th, January 1st to January 14th. You could start the playoff the first week of January. Push everything back. Like, there's ways you could do it. It just doesn't bother me that much, I guess. I hate the fact that the semifinals are Thursday and Friday. I don't like that at all. Yeah, too much downtime. It doesn't make common sense to me. Am I the only one who feels like it makes no common sense? There's not, we've gotten away from the common sense aspect of, bro, when we don't have common sense in watching TV, we're all in trouble. Because I feel like that's what this is. This is not common sense. It's not common sense. It's not going to be commonsensical because that would make, well, too much sense. Everything's got to be more difficult. Everything has to be more complex. Of course, we've all got to make more money. So we get truTV. Right? Would anybody even notice if it wasn't on truTV? You wouldn't. You just wouldn't. It's a branding play. It just, yes. It's really stupid in general, the college football schedule. Right? It's Saturday sports national title game should not be on the workday, on a workday either. Why? Why on Thursday? Why on Friday? Why on Monday? Obviously, you're interrupting with the NFL schedule, and I would love to understand it. It's not common sense. Are you telling me that we as human beings, we can't watch an NFL and a college game in the same day? I'm here for it. I would watch an NFL playoff game and a college football playoff game on the same day. I think I have enough testosterone flowing through my bag to make that possible. Could be wrong. Right? Welcome to the nightmare. The semifinal shouldn't be during the week. It should not. That makes no sense at all. None. Nope. Needs to start first week of December. Daniel Dixon. Iowa State lost a huge basketball player. Ooh. Life is not easy in Ames these days. Really isn't. Brandon Butler. Hello. You could legit start the college football the first week of August, have a month with no NFL, and get the college football final the weekend of New Year's. Easy. Common sense guy. Easy. I don't have truTV. You probably do, and you just don't know it. But who's watching truTV? God's honest truth. Who's watching truTV? I am not. What's that show where they practical jokers? Fuck off. Like, I don't, who's watching that? Man, like, we just finished the third season of Jack Ryan, and it's exhausting to me. I don't have to, maybe I'm 53 going on 79. I don't want to sit on the couch all day and watch TV. I really do not. So I don't want to invest my brain space into what's on truTV. And I am not going to watch the NCAA tournament or the college football playoff on truTV, you prick. I'm not doing it. TNT at this point is a stretch, and they don't even have Inside the NBA anymore. Right? Like, whatever. I hate the way we watch TV. I really do. It will not just be on truTV, Scoop. No, it's not exclusively on truTV. It's on TNT, truTV, and HBO Max. $39.99 a month. Skinamax. Right? Like, come on. Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? Yes, exactly right. Nobody watches truTV. Just die. And just die. Right? I've seen The Accountant. I know how that works. That's such a good movie. Jack Ryan just had a movie instead of a series. See, Ghost Reaper or whatever the hell it is. I love it. I love it. Having Buddy from The Office on that show as like a serious character is actually, he's very good. He's very, very good. I'm telling you, Mike November might be the best. I think he might be the best character in a TV show that I've seen recently. And if you look at, I'm trying to think of Mike November's name. God damn it. Mike Kelly. Michael Kelly? I should look it up. Michael Kelly is the dude that plays Mike November, I think. Yes. Wendell Pierce plays Jim Greer. Wendell Pierce, I'm telling you, he was incredible on Chicago PD. So good. And again, I'm just going to continue to tell you, this is what sports needs Mike November. We need storylines that are compelling. We go in these long stretches these days, and it didn't used to be like this. We go through these long stretches in sports where nothing happens. The games are boring. The season isn't enough. The season isn't compelling enough. We need you to get a ticket doing 105 in a 25 school zone. Right? That's what we need. John Krasinski, that's his name. John Krasinski as John Ryan is actually really good. Really, really good. Why do we care about truTV? Anyone who has truTV automatically has TNT. Oh, is that right? That's where you're going to watch, if not HBO Max. It's just annoying. It's an annoyance. I don't know why. Why do I hate the fly buzzing around my ears? Because I do. I'm a curmudgeon, I guess, at this point. I just do. College football playoff should be on ABC or Fox, where everyone can enjoy it. It should be on broadcast television, which it is. In all fairness, it is. And if you look at the national championship, it's on ABC. The semifinals on ABC. Oh, look, the other semifinals on truTV. Everybody has access that can use it. Okay. Point taken. I know that it's not okay. I'll stop talking. Well, actually, I can't because I'm alone on the show today because Jake's a prick, but that's not really the point. You know. And Greer on the Jack Ryan show, dude, that was on the Suits show. Was he on Suits? Wendell Pierce was on Suits? I was unaware of this fact. He was on Suits. For 8 years, he was on Suits? I had no idea. Literally had no idea that he was on Suits. That's incredible. Okay. I guess I just forgot that Wendell Pierce was on Suits. That's incredible. Oh, Sarah Rafferty. Didn't forget she was on Suits. You know, oh, that's right. He played Robert Zane. That's right. Yes, he played Robert Zane. Monty is going all Scott Pelley on the college football TV executives. Well, dude, did you guys hear about that? More to the point. Did you guys hear about this? They want Joe Rogan to replace Anderson Cooper. No. The answer is no. Nah, I'm good. I'm fine. No. Ryan Duffy, even during March Madness, when your team gets slotted for truTV instead of TNT or CBS, you're immediately disappointed. Yeah, because you can't watch the game. He was the girl's father who worked on the rival firm before joining their firm. Okay. Yes, I remember now. Ken Maynor. March Madness is a hot mess. Sucks not knowing where all the games are. I agree. CBS has become unwatchable. If you put Joe Rogan on 60 Minutes, 60 Minutes is an institution. You can't put Joe Rogan on 60. You simply, you can. Nobody will watch. Like 60 Minutes is the one thing where you don't question the journalistic integrity of it. You respect and you assume their process. And you don't have to worry about it. Well, that used to be, because now Joe Rogan's replacing Anderson Cooper. It makes, you're killing me. Like, my brain is dying. My brain is dying thinking about that. Who's going to tell Mike Smith that John Denver went to Texas Tech? Oh, did Scott Pelley go to Texas Tech as well? Okay. 60 Minutes has been destroyed. Putting Rogan on there would be like putting Trump on the Kennedy Center. We would never do that. Stop. Trump on the Kennedy Center. I already knew John Denver went to Texas Tech. There we go. The woman who is in charge of 60 Minutes just brought in a new guy, and he got crushed in his first meeting. They laid off a bunch of people, and they're being sued by like 6 of them. They had a staff member meeting, and the employees railed on the new guy. Yeah, it was incredible. It was incredible. You come on. The Bashir, Larry Ellison and Barry Weiss trying to get eyes back on mainstream media. Joe wouldn't do that. Joe Rogan has a niche, and it ain't journalism. Joe is good at what he does. Let him do what he does, not journalism. You know what I mean? Like, not journalism. Please. All right, let's get into Brendan Sorsby. Because this is incredible. Here on the Monty Show, presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, 24/7, 365, and it won't cost you a dime out of your pocket. So go get clear, risk-free advice right now. You can talk to an injury attorney 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com, where you don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case. This is a Travis, a shamockery, this case yesterday. You argued that the NCAA is following its own rules too closely, and thus Brendan Sorsby's the aggrieved party. That was their argument in court yesterday. And God bless America, right? God bless America, because I think Jeffrey Kessler's a hell of an attorney. Mad respect for Buddy. But I agree, gambling is an addiction. I agree the NCAA should support Brendan Sorsby. I agree that Lubbock has, at Texas Tech, one of the best addiction institutions on the planet. And I agree that the NCAA, in combination with Texas Tech, should wholly support Brendan Sorsby's recovery from his addiction. And he will have time to do that because this mof ain't playing college football ever again. That's my belief. All things can be true. None of these are mutually exclusive. Why can we not support Brendan Sorsby if we don't allow him to play college football? Because he broke the only rule he can't break. I guess it's because I'm not on retainer.
So I was very happy to have this day in court for Brandon. He deserves his day in court. This case.
Wait, hold on a second. I'm sorry, sir. Who the fuck is Brandon?
So I was very happy to have this day in court for Brandon. He deserves his day in court. This case, I think, has been badly misunderstood by a lot of people.
Brandon.
It's very important that everyone understand that it is undisputed that he never did any betting to compromise the integrity of his team. The bets he made on his team was when he was not participating in that team, and he never
Brandon?
bet again to do that. And what this case is about is when you have no threat to competitive integrity, but you have a mental illness of gambling addiction, which is plaguing student athletes across the country. The NCAA said in its policies it would consider that. It would support the athlete, and instead they want to punish them. That's wrong. We think it's illegal, and we hope the court will agree.
Yeah, for Brandon's sake. Let's go, Brandon. For Brandon's sake, let's hope that, how do you get... Listen, I'm not a lawyer, but shouldn't he know his client's name? And I know that Brandon Sorsby wasn't in court yesterday. And I understand that good old Brando is dealing with a serious addiction and that Brandon needs all of the support that Lubbock and the NCAA can give. But I also understand that Brando shouldn't be playing college football anymore. I understand that Brando bet on Indiana while he was a football player at, go ahead, Brandon, tell me, Indiana. I understand that he bet tens of thousands of dollars, Brandon, that is, while he has been a college athlete, including when Brandon had already transferred to Texas Tech. You meathead. His name is Brendan, you insufferable person. How do you get that wrong? How do you get that wrong?
So I was very happy to have this day in court for Brandon. He
deserves to have you say his name right, Dick. It's Brendan. Now, Brendan, I'm happy for Mr. Sorbet, that he was able to I'm a lawyer. All I do is eat fees. Like, what? You get paid so much money, you don't have to know Buddy's name. How is that possible? Why? Like, maybe he's too old. Excuse me, sir. His name is Brendan. Brendan Sorbet. Get it right, please. What case are you talking about?
So I was very happy to have this day in court for Brandon.
Listen, if I wipe my ass with $100 bills, I probably wouldn't get people's names right either. You probably would not get names right either. What? Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Yeah, let's go, Brandon. Remember that one? do you understand that this is just who we are in college football right now? We're suing because Brandon is the aggrieved party. Oh, okay, good. I thought you were suing for Brendan Sorsby. We all know he should be suspended for life. This Brando guy that's an addict, man. I hope he goes to rehab and he gets saved. Maybe they can put him on an episode of Intervention on truTV. Anyway, the point is, you got to get the guy's name right, you old fart. Like, his name is Brendan Sorsby, bud. Check the contract.
So I was very happy to have this day in court for Brandon. He deserves his day in court.
His day in court. Like, how old are you, my guy, that you can't even say Brendan correctly? Is this just like your old decrepit grandfather who's like, oh, where's Timmy? Ah, Timmy, have the chips and salsa, Timmy. Right? Like, is that what this guy is? I am amazed. And then the fact that you stood up there and argued that the NCAA is too passionately enforcing its own rules. And that's why he's an aggrieved party. Well, listen, Brandon over here doesn't deserve, little Brandon here doesn't deserve to have the rules enforced against him like this. He's an aggrieved party. What? Listen, again, I am no legal scholar, but I believe, and I could be wrong here, Joffrey. I could be wrong here, Mr. Kasler, but aren't you supposed to argue that the law is not being enforced? Not that it's being enforced? I don't know. I didn't go to law school, sir. As an attorney, you're arguing they're enforcing their laws too fervently. Now, listen, Brandon's an addict. Come on, man. Yeah. Sleazebag lawyer doesn't even know his name. He deserves his day in court. And don't you love the way he says court? He deserves his day in court.
So I was very happy to have this day in court.
What? For Brandon? Buddy. Scoop. The attorney should be disqualified from the case. Yeah, I'm going to say you should go focus on Brandon's case. I'm over here working for Sorbet. Right? Everyone behind Kessler is trying not to laugh at what he is saying. Oh, look at the guy, the guy right next to him.
So I was very happy to have this day in court for Brandon. He deserves his day in court.
That blinking head nod, that inside the guy's brain, he's like, oh, fuck, old man's off the rail again. Great. Uh-oh. Right? Like, is that what goes through your head? When you're inside your own head and you're blinking. Uh-oh. Like, what do you even do? You're like, hey, buddy, let me step in here.
It's not Brandon. It's Brendan, sir. Let's go, Brandon. That was Joe Biden. It's Brendan.
Like, do you say something to him? What do you even say to him? I don't even know what you say. The guy in the background does all the work, probably. His last name is pronounced like the frozen dessert is pronounced Sorsbet. Now, Brandon Sorsbet is the aggrieved party here. Never heard of him. I'm sorry, what? Did you say your grandson Brandon wants some ice cream? What pay that man his money. Exactly right. And again, in all seriousness, this is one of the most powerful attorneys in the world, Kessler, and he called him Brandon. And then this only after he argued in court. Well, the NCAA is actually enforcing its rules too well, so we're now an aggrieved party. Brandon is now an aggrieved party. That was their argument in court. Hey, you guys, I'm just saying, as certainly as I can say this, how does this judge rule in favor of Brendan, don't call me Brandon Sorsbet? Like, how do you rule in favor of Brendan Sorsby when the attorney can't even get your name right? And their main argument is you're enforcing your rules too well. Right? Because that's really, if you look at the Sorsby argument yesterday, the punishment is excessive compared to the conduct. Well, nowhere in the bylaws does it say, well, as long as, he didn't play, he can bet on his own. Nope, doesn't say that. So I'm going to say you lost that one. He will suffer irreparable harm without immediate relief. Well, sir, I don't know how to break this to you. That's called fuck around and find out. The part where he gambled is the fuck around, and this is the part where he finds out. He will suffer irreparable harm if not given immediate relief. He doesn't deserve relief. He bet on his own football team, admittedly. Admittedly, gambling addiction should be treated as a medical condition. Spot on. Our actions have consequences. You're a gambling addict. You bet on your own team. We're going to help you with treatment. Yeah, but you can't ever play college football again. Simple as that. As simple as that. I just don't think it's that complicated. It is not that complicated. Help the kid. I agree. Listen, if Brendan Sorsby is a gambling addict, which I believe he is, when you bet the way he bet, you're probably addicted. Let's give the kids support. Lubbock, again, go look it up. Lubbock has one of the best addiction institutions. And I'm just telling you, at the end of the day, and I don't even think it's close, you need treatment for that. Plain and simple. So I'm happy to give that to you. You're in an institution that has an incredible addiction program. Have at it. Can't play college football, but we're going to support you and make sure that from here to 4, we do everything we can do to help you with your addiction to gambling. But you can't play college football. It's not that complicated, man. It's really not that complicated. So is what it is, right? The Frog Father says, Jake, get to work already. Buddy doesn't have power. Nothing you can do. We deserve relief from Sorsby. Go away. I think a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people. I thought it was very admirable in the comments section yesterday that Pew Pew Nation, that I just made that up. That's not what Texas Tech is called. That Texas Tech fans showed out and actually said, yeah, we don't want this guy. You have Will Hammond. This is the thing I don't understand. Why are you fighting so passionately? I mean, this has to be millions of dollars. Buddy's got the Speaker of the Texas House of Representatives as his number 2. He's second chair on Sorsby's legal team. This isn't millions of dollars? You have Jeffrey Kessler, arguably the most powerful sports attorney and litigator in the world, and the Texas representative, Speaker of the House, as your second chair. This is millions of dollars. Why are you spending millions of dollars on this fight? You have Will Hammond. Yes, he's coming off of an ACL. But are you really telling me that you need to spend millions of dollars on this? Come on, man. Come on, man. I just don't see it. Also, smash the like button schedule. It's so much harder to do a one-man show for 3 hours without even a commercial break. Well, we're an hour and 15 minutes in and I'm cruising. Yo. Jake who? Are you kidding me? Jake who? The Bashir, the NCAA should stand their ground, but reform needs to happen for these kids moving forward. My belief is, because I think this is an excellent point, my belief is plain and simple. You should never be allowed to gamble on any sports of any kind while you are a college athlete. As simple as that. Makes it pretty cut and dry. And if you do, you are now ineligible to play in college athletics. Because the thing that guys like Kessler and his legal team representing Brandon don't want to talk about is that if you get in deep with the Sharks, you're going to wind up doing what, Buddy in Toronto did in the NBA, the Jonte Porters of the world. You're going to wind up doing things that you have to do so that your kneecaps stay intact. Right? That's what this comes down to. And if you don't want to be a gambling addict, maybe not being allowed to gamble could keep some people away from that addiction. But arguing that the NCAA is enforcing its rules too well is probably not a defense I would have gone with. In fact, I probably wouldn't have gone with a defense. I would have gone to the supplemental draft or just trained my ass off and gotten ready for next year's NFL draft. Because I continue to sit here and say, we in this country need to have self-accountability. And I'm not just talking about Brandon. I'm just talking about guys like Sorsby. I'm talking about across the board. We have zero self-accountability. Whether it's freedom of speech, yes, please say whatever you like. Your words have consequences. The Mountain West situation. Sure, you can leave the conference. There's an exit fee. Oh, that's right. You're going to sue because you don't want the exit fee applied to you. The one you wrote into the... Yeah. It's for thee, not for me. We need to stop that. Like in a rigid fashion, we need to stop that. As simply as I can say it. We need to stop that. Welcome to the nightmare. Sorbet can pay all those lawyers, but not his buyout at Cincinnati. Exactly right. That's right. Ken Maynor. Texas Tech just needs to come out and say we are moving on from Sorsby. QB competition's open. Will Hammond's a fine quarterback. No reason to have a QB competition. You've got Will Hammond there. The kid can play. He showed us that. Right? It's an ACLs are not what they used to be. I can get you an ACL, bud. Right? Like, we can get you an ACL. I can get you an ACL. It's not what it used to be. Hell, Achilles aren't what they used to be. Did you guys see Daniel Jones already cleared for 7-on-7s with the Colts? Was he betting on props? If so, that means he had insider information on injuries and stuff going on in the locker room. They said that he never threw it, but it couldn't have been because the integrity of the... I don't know what he was betting on. The bottom line is he admittedly bet on Indiana. Can't do that. Cannot do that. Ryan Duffy, hello. Tech fan who wants Sorsby only because they think Hammond can win you the Big 12 title, but Sorsby can win you a playoff game. I don't want this kid anywhere near our facilities ever again. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. Mad respect for that. This Tech situation trying to hold on to Sorsby reminds me of Michigan trying to do anything to keep Harbaugh when everybody knew it was over. Dude, seriously. Hundo P. 100%. Your Honor, I shouldn't go to jail for stealing the vehicle because the state is enforcing theft laws too good. They're too good at it's not my fault they're so good at catching car thieves, Your Honor. Like, I should be able to steal cars and not get caught, but I got caught because they're too good at it. Therefore, I'm an aggrieved party now. It's the argument they made yesterday. Give me some credit for that. Do I get no credit for that? Because that's exactly what the Sorsby argument sounded like to me. Bailey Dietrich, who now loves Jared Verse. Judge shouldn't ban Brendan Sorsby from playing a single snap. Should ban. from playing a single snap of college football. I agree. True that. The Bashir, I pray for the Big 12's sake. Texas Tech is already preparing for the season as Will being QB1. They better. They better. Scoop says, put all the Texas Tech games on truTV. Bet. Right? I mean, come on. Like, the whole thing is comical. Which is also apparently what Eric Weddle saw when he watched Bryce Underwood play quarterback. Bro, this is a wild take out of Eric Weddle.
Mark my words. I was out there for spring ball. Don't be surprised if the backup's playing early, because that Underwood kid, I don't think he could throw or play quarterback. So we'll see.
Really?
Wait, do you have to be able to throw to play quarterback? I'm a little confused. I thought Brandon could throw. Eric Weddle, affectionately known as the Beard, not a beard. That's two different things. Okay, let's move on. That's awkward now. My point is, Eric Weddle, the Beard, is a stud. A Utah Ute football legend. Very close with that coaching staff through his time at Utah, and they're all now up at Michigan. The Beard is saying, I went to Ann Arbor and Bryce Underwood is ass. That's what he's saying. Which, if what he is saying there, Weddle, is true, everything we've talked about with Bryce Underwood on this show did not happen. You did not get better in the offseason. You have arguably the best offensive coordinator in the country right now, who has for the last several years had the top offense in the country, including a dual threat quarterback. And you're telling me that Bryce Underwood is still ass.
Mark my words. I was out there for spring ball. Don't be surprised if the backup's playing early, because that Underwood kid, I don't think he could throw or play quarterback. So we'll see.
Really?
Ooh. A, I don't think Eric Weddle is going to be welcome in Ann Arbor anytime soon. B, I don't think he can throw or play quarterback. It's a pretty blanket assessment of kid skills. If Bryce Underwood's bad, this is an absolute disaster for the University of Michigan football team. The money you're paying Bryce Underwood, the fanfare, it is quite literally the only positive that came out of butter knives. And I mean, literally the only positive that came out of butter knives, buddy, is the fact that Underwood actually chose Michigan and then chose not to leave Michigan. And now Eric Weddle is saying that Bryce is ass and can't throw and can't play quarterback. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. And I believe Eric Weddle knows quarterbacks. Eric Weddle's played a lot of secondary. Eric Weddle's played in the NFL, and he was one of the best in the NFL. I'm going to say that Eric Weddle, the Beard, knows quarterbacks. And if he pronounces you ass, I'm going to say you're probably not good. Do you understand the level of disaster this would be for Michigan? Like, I don't even know. How do you... The setback that would be for Kyle Whittingham and Jason Beck to start their run at Michigan, he was gravy. In fact, no, he wasn't gravy. He was the turkey. Everything else was the gravy. Buddy is supposed to be transformative. And if he really is this bad, oh my word, it's going to be a long season for the Big Ten. Because I'll continue to say the Big Ten needs Michigan to be good. Because we all know what's going to happen at USC. They're going to lose like 4 games because their schedule is impossible. So are we really going to have another season of Indiana and Ohio State and Oregon disappointing people? Is that really what the Big Ten is all about? I'm going to say it is. Oh, but Monty, we've won back-to-back championships. Congratulations. With 2 teams. And everybody else, again, say it with me, is ass. Because if Bryce Underwood sucks, that team is bad. There's no, I don't even know how you positively spin what Eric Weddle said. I don't even know how you would possibly spin that. I really do not. Mike Smith, was this the Weddle that was a safety? Yes. Yes, Eric Weddle, correct. Absolutely correct. Like this is so bad for college football. If the Big Ten, I think that much of it, Michigan's impact on college football. TV numbers will be worse. The Big Ten will make less money until Michigan figures it out with Bryce Underwood. Can you imagine if we're in September and Bryce Underwood is benched? I think that would be one of the biggest stories in all of college football. If he's that bad. Because again, we're still having this argument. And I think the obsession that the Big Ten has with the SEC is remarkable. I mean, it is remarkable to me how obsessed the Big Ten is with telling you how much better than the SEC they are. And they are telling us how much better than the SEC they are. I mean, they're not, but they're telling us they are. And this is another indication, yeah, they're just not. They're just not. Because this would be akin to Sam Leavitt being asked at LSU and being benched in September. That's what it would be the equivalent of. And I continue to tell you, the very fact that the Big Ten is this obsessed with the SEC tells you, I think they know from the inside they're not it.
Not 2012. This is not 2016, 15. I'm sorry, like Nick Saban is no longer there with his big old coattails for you to ride as a conference. It's not that way anymore. So I thought that we should recap what we learned from the SEC spring meetings. And I got to be honest, it wasn't a lot. What did we get? Propaganda. Awesome. Let's start with what Greg Sankey said. And it was basically, hey, we're the best. That is false. They are not by far the best conference in college football. And candidly, I don't even know if you can call them the best conference in college football. Why don't we just go to the data? Why don't we call balls and strikes? Because here's the thing. At a meeting like that, Greg is saying this to a group of writers who largely want that to be true. If you believe what he said deep down in your heart, it's because you want to believe what he said. You don't want to see the data. You don't want to see the truth. And that's fine. And that makes college football great, by the way. If you're a fan and you're mad right now because you sense what I'm about to talk about and you're thinking to yourself like, no way, here he goes. That's fine, because the passion in our sport is what makes our sport great. But what the data suggests is that what Greg said is absolutely false. The Big Ten is 4-0 over the SEC over the last 3 playoffs. 4-0 is not a small thing now.
So let me get this right. A 4-game stretch now is what is determining who's better as an entire conference. That's the argument that we're making. Because of 4 games, the Big Ten is now better than the SEC. Fuck out of here. Come on. Like it is Joel Klatt is no different than Clownzano. This is back of the envelope calculations. Four games. That's the entirety of your argument. 4 games. Now, if you're saying, have they in recent times had a better run through the playoff? Yeah, for sure. No question. But this would be me arguing that Notre Dame, who played for a national championship and lost to Ohio State, is actually better than anybody in the SEC. Yeah, that's not the truth. That's just not based in fact. And we can sit here and we can tell ourselves things that doesn't make them true. In this obsession that the Big Ten has with telling us how much better they are than the SEC, I just continue to ask you, 4 games is what you're basing that on. The fact that the Big Ten has won back-to-back national championships does not mean they're a better, deeper conference. Do you want to argue that the tippy top of the Big Ten is better than the tippy top of the SEC? Okay, I'm here for that. Is Ohio State better than anybody in the SEC? Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm here for that. But you can't make the argument that the Big Ten is a better football conference than the SEC. That's just factually inaccurate. You don't have the depth of competition. You don't have the depth of roster in the middle of the conference, let alone the bottom of the conference. The fact that Diego Pavia and his sort of hot mom are winning huge football games at Vandy the last couple of years speaks volumes about how much more depth there is in the SEC than in the Big Ten. Because I can easily point to Northwestern, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Rutgers, Purdue, Michigan State, like over and over and over, team by team by team, every year systematically ass, which I guess is the word of the day all of a sudden. Or I could just let Greg Sankey tell you.
Let's go back to the Peach Bowl. Was it January 1st, 2022? Field goal sales left. Georgia wins. We're great. The margins are so thin. So Michigan beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl in overtime. Last year, you look at the Texas-Ohio State game. Texas scores. There's a screenplay, breaks the game open. You go to possessions in the red zone, really close, and there's a turnover. And I use those. And this year, the ball's in the air, Ole Miss, Miami. I'm standing in the end zone. Pretty good grab. That wasn't a Hail Mary. That was an attempt to score a touchdown on the last play. I mean, those are small margins between winning and losing. We prevailed on those small margins a number of times. You think about the onside kick in Phoenix in 2016 against Clemson. You kind of go down the line. We had some blowouts. If you look at the entirety of our league, we are by far the most competitive, the strongest football league, by far.
I don't even think it's an argument. Can you really make an argument the Big Ten is a better football league than the SEC? Because I'm telling you, you cannot. Not logically, not based in fact. That I don't. And let's get in the comment section. Hit the like button here on the Monty Show, presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com. Hit the like button. Do you believe the Big Ten is a better football conference than the SEC? Because I think that's. I would love to have that argument. Roche, is Weddle running a Whittingham deception tactic? Man, you better hope so. If you're a Michigan fan, you better hope so. Michigan is currently -2.5 against OU week 2 in Ann Arbor. Jumping on that action now. Dude. You're probably not wrong for doing that. Oklahoma-Michigan game should be telling regarding Underwood. Yes, it should. Yes, it should. Rock and Ran, I'm skeptical. He was asked last year, and they still finished 17th or 18th. And we're one win away probably from making the playoff or getting damn close to it. And that was with an ass coach with a butter knife. Not Whittingham. Yeah. Whittingham and Beck is a substantial upgrade. But why would Eric Weddle, who is a Whittingham guy, through and through, why would he say this? That's what I don't understand. Like, why would Eric Weddle come out and, I mean, essentially say that Bryce Underwood sucks and there's no chance he finishes the season? Is that a deceptive practice, or is this just a blunt assessment?
Mark my words. I was out there for spring ball. Don't be surprised if the backup's playing early, because that Underwood kid, I don't think he can throw or play quarterback. So we'll see.
Really?
God damn. Like, that is incredible. Like, the blunt, matter-of-fact way, I don't think he can throw the ball or play quarterback. Other than that, he's going to be great. That's incredible, dude. And listen, nobody's been a harsher critic of Bryce Underwood than I. But it would be shocking if the talent tank was just empty in Bryce Underwood. If Jason Beck can't somehow find whatever it is inside of Bryce Underwood to make him a competent, and I don't even think competent is asking too little. Just be competent. They're going to be significantly better. If Bryce Underwood is just able to operate an offense and throw the football on a consistent basis to the right guy at the right time, they're going to win games. But if he can't throw the ball or play quarterback, dude, that's not a small assessment. That's a big assessment. Based on how the SEC is acting, doesn't it seem like the SEC is obsessed with the Big Ten because they have been dominating? If I'm the SEC, shouldn't you be obsessed with the Big Ten? I don't think they are. But again, maybe I just go back to, and let me see if I can find the bite. When Sankey was saying we are the preeminent, we are the best conference in college football, right? Like, that to me, where's it? There, here it is, where he talks about them being a super conference.
There is joy embedded in what we do, and we take pride in what was accomplished last year. Our first as a 16-member, what I think is a super conference. For all of those of you who like to speculate about super conferences, welcome to one.
It's not wrong. And here's where the rubber meets the road for me. If you're the Big Ten, and I know everybody says, no, Monty, you don't know what you're talking about. That never happened. Greg Sankey confirmed they asked for 28 teams. Why are you asking for so many, a 28-team playoff?
Whether people want to agree with it or not, that's up to them. We can go through the analytics and show the rigor of our schedule is different than anyone else's, period. And we had a learning session in September at the CFP about strength of schedule, and strength of schedule isn't everything, but it is an important factor. I remember very clearly one of the messages was, if you play the top-ranked team and the 130th ranked team, those two games average out to 65.5. If you play 65 and 66, they average out to 65.5. And so the advisor said, you're just as well playing 65 and 66. Here's my problem. But for maybe two teams in a year, we don't have 65 or 66, and everybody else has a group.
Those are facts. Tell me he's wrong. How is he wrong? And I know nobody wants to hear the truth, but they don't have 65 and 66. They don't have Perdone. They don't have Rutgers. They don't have the current incarnation of Wisconsin Badger football. Right? And until lately, Indiana was in that boat. Yes, Indiana has made the Big Ten better. National champion Indiana, SIG, yeah, Ohio State, he's made them better. But that doesn't even begin to put you in the same hemisphere with the depth that the SEC operates at. We'll see. Purdue 2-10. UCLA. Geez, I forgot about UCLA. Although I think they're going to be significantly better. Michigan State, Maryland, Wisconsin, Rutgers. It's rough, dude. Northwestern is never really competitive, if we're being honest. Bailey Dietrich. There will be many more scandals going on in Ann Arbor. Nah, I don't think there will. Not under Kyle Whittingham, in my opinion. Mountain Mama, I know you don't like it when I say it, but if Sankey thinks the SEC is the best and it's not even close, you should have at least one SEC team in the championship game. But I don't think the championship game is what defines the best football conference in the country. Do they have the singular best team? No, they don't. That would be Ohio State. And right now it's Indiana. Until we kick off, and then we got to figure out who it is. That doesn't make them the best team or the best conference. I'm a big believer that depth and this argument over how many AQs. Tell me again why you think the Big Ten wanted at one point 8 to 10 automatic qualifiers. There's only one reason they would want that. Because that's the only way they're going to get teams in. And again, I'll play the bite. For all of you who said, no, Monty, they never did that. Here's Greg Sankey backing up exactly what I've said.
Last year when we left, we did set a direction based on the conversation at that point focused on 16. And I've recited that as our position because we've not taken any other votes to change that position. So that's our focus. What I've never said is, like, we're ultimately opposed to some other number. 14 was a number that was out there that's been forgotten about. 24 is out there, 20. 28 was out there probably mid-late June last year. With all of those numbers, like we did with the 12-team playoff, the question is, what's the impact? How many teams are brought into the equation in November? How many more games have kind of a high consequence? How many games in whatever setting might have a reduced consequence?
How many? How many? And how many teams is too many, right? How many teams is too many? I'm telling you, 24 is an embarrassment. And it's only 24 because the Big Ten wants more teams in, that they know they can't qualify at half that at 12. I am just telling you, man, it's awfully difficult to make the argument that the Big Ten is as deep as the SEC. And I'm happy to have people try. Two things can be simultaneously true. The Big Ten is not a better conference than the SEC, and the SEC is nowhere as good as it thinks it is compared to, okay, well, that's absolutely true. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. And the SEC will be insufferable if they win a national championship. And goddamn, if it's Texas, you're going to hate life. Right? Seems like Stanky scripted that question and answer. Very well could have been. No doubt about it. Their schedule was terrible, too. They lost 3 of their only good teams they played last year. Who are you talking about? Oklahoma, USC, and Ohio State, and almost lost to Northwestern. Okay. Brandon Butler. First, it's way too early to bury him right now. It's a new offense, truth. Wait till 2-a-days start in July and see where he's at. Dampier had a couple of seasons with Beck to get it down. Yeah. Before they came to Utah. Correct. Wait and see this season. I don't think almost making the playoff last year tells me anything. I would agree with that. I would agree. I just think yeah. It's just very interesting. It is very interesting. Once the playoff went beyond 4 teams, it stopped being about the best and became about who is the hottest. Well, there is something to that. Because you can confidently say somebody like Oregon. Has Oregon ever been the best team in the country? Perhaps. And if not, they were when they beat the Pedos on Epstein Island, that was pretty good. But you can't continue to fall flat on your face. Like, How do you do? Congratulations, you beat Texas Tech, who will also tell you they're nothing short of God tier. But how do you fall on your face after that? I don't believe that Oregon makes the Big Ten necessarily deeper. Better? Yes. Deeper? Yeah. I guess it's what you define and how you define it. They had the most teams in the CFP last year, and during the selection committee meeting, they were bitching that BYU was getting consideration. It's still, yeah. I wish we would eliminate the committee and make it about games on the field. But then we have to get into strength of schedule, strength of record, and things that people don't want to talk about. You know, things you don't want to talk about at parties. A few good men. Anyway, 16 is on the edge of too many, and 14 doesn't sound bad. I think we should stay at 12. We should stay at 12. Yeah, Michigan. I know. I figured it out. I'm only stupid for a few minutes. Hey, real quick, can we talk about Ed Orgeron? And then we'll get back to your comments, because this dude's a pimp. This dude is Ed Orgeron. I don't want him to be my head coach. But this story we're going to tell you, Ed Orgeron is a pimp. And I want him recruiting for Notre Dame. He is recruiting and banging for LSU. He is getting dudes. And if you're ever curious how he got those dudes, be curious no more.
I'm up at the airport, right? I used to bring them down to PCH through Malibu and all that shit, right? I go around, go through Beverly Hills, you know, all the big car stores. Yes. Rodeo Drive. Yeah. Pull up the back road of USC, right? And make sure the parents were with me. And they tell the recruit, say, listen, when he picks you up from the airport, he's going to show you about the big city, but look to the side, to the left. That's Compton. It's a very dangerous place. I knew that, right? Show them all the beautiful stuff, right? Go to the dorm rooms, you know, they got those bars on the window. You know why there's some bars on the window, right? People trying to break in. I brought them to the best dorm on campus, told them that was our dorm. It was all right. So on Sunday, I'd go pick them up, right? The mother had to be there. I would take a walk to the end of the pier, and I'd show them all the movie stars back then. Right. I didn't know if they lived there. You know what I mean? Behind that Jello's house, there's Michael Jackson's house. Really cool. Yeah. Pete would be kicking me. He knew exactly what they were going to tell me. Coach, these recruiters, they told me this was a bad place. It was in the hood. I said, Coach, all I saw is the ocean, Rolls Royce, steak dinners. Coach, they lied to me. They're lying to you now. Think about what they're going to do when they get you, young man. They're really going to lie to you. Coach, you right. Coach, you right. We're coming to USC, baby.
That's my dude. We should all have a little Ed Orgeron in us. Okay, that came out wrong. The spirit of Ed Orgeron needs to live in all of us. I mean, that dude, the very fact that he doesn't know who lives in those houses, and he's like in there, and you know, John Krasinski lives there, Mike November lives there, Hank Voight lives there, right? Like the very fact that he's painting a picture and then selling that piece of art. Buddy's an art dealer, and I'm here for it, man. I love me some Edo. I love me some Edo. And the fact that it is true that USC's dorms have bars on the windows in some instances, because it's in South Central. USC's campus is in South Central. If you've never been there are some rough surroundings at USC. It's very similar to GCU in Phoenix. Beautiful campus. Yeah, you probably need some bars on the windows. But the fact that Edo is standing on the end of Santa Monica Pier pointing out movie stars who don't live there, that's incredible. The fact that he's taking you down Rodeo Drive, the fact that he's not taking you to Compton and Inglewood, the fact that he's taking you to the Sunset Strip and buying you steak dinners, and he's making sure that mom sees J-Lo's house, I'm here for that. That is what recruiting in college should be about. Now, South Central, no. Compton, no. J-Lo lives right there. Now, let's go enjoy a steak dinner in Beverly Hills, which is nowhere fucking near South Central where you're going to be living every day. But let's go to Beverly Hills. Hey, why don't you go ahead and sign this national letter of intent now? Like, it's incredible work out of Edo. And the fact that he's doing that Creole style for LSU right now is even better. If you're recruiting and you don't want Edo as one of your main voices to kids and their parents, you're out of your mind. It is, I don't think it's a good hire. I think it's an elite hire out of Lane. It is nothing short of spectacular. Because he is a used car salesman. He is an MC, a master of ceremony. He is Buddy under the big top. Now, you hope you don't get mauled by his tiger, but you want him running that circus. And he does it well. I mean, it's unbelievable to me that when you look at him talking about recruiting, because I'm telling you, Pete Carroll, you guys may know this story. Pete Carroll used to walk the streets of South Central and talk to the bangers and talk to the homeless people. And he didn't have to go far from his office because they're in South Central. And he used to, in the middle of the night, Pete Carroll would walk out into the streets and work with people. And it's everything you want. Delaric says, Ed O sounds like he would be a great GM on college football. Well, the guy should be recruiting. Ed Orgeron is one of those guys who's good at a certain select set of skills. He will find you. Right? Yeah, he's incredible. GCU is in a very bad neighborhood. Yes, it is. USC is in Watts. Yes, it is. Coach, you have $17.1 million left on your contract. We're going to give it to you. I said, what time you want me to leave and what door do you want me out of? Yeah, we're going to fire your ass, but we're giving you $17 million. Okay, when do you want me to leave and what door do you want me to use to exit? Like, it's one of the best lines ever. He is a gem. Ed Orgeron, national hero might be a bit much, or maybe it's not. He's not a national hero. But Ed Orgeron is everything that's right with college football. He's a man's man. He's got the accent. Oh, he's got the gravel in the chords. Like, Ed Orgeron is the quintessential. And I want him recruiting. And as well, listen, as I've said, as well as Notre Dame does recruiting, you want to give me some Edo, give me some Edo. Bring Edo to South Bend. I'm here for it. Put the Marcus Freeman wardrobe on Edo and turn that dude loose in Ohio. Bring me offensive line beef. He'll do it. But he is great at LSU because he's got credence. He can tell you Burrowhead Stadium stories. He can tell you stories about his hot girlfriends at practice and games on the field. Who are you, Bill Belichick? He was Belichick scumbaggery before Belichick was doing scumbaggery at North Carolina. It is, and it's remarkable. I think it is one of the most unlikely happy endings we've ever seen. The fact that Edo is back at LSU football, recruiting, on staff, working with Lane Kiffin, I think is one of the most underappreciated, least likely outcomes we've ever seen. It's just incredible. Edo knows where to find the best mud bugs. I'm sure he does. Right? Art dealer or snake oil salesman. Hey, you call it what you want. I am telling you, and I say this all the time in sales. I paint pictures And I sell those works of art. I'm an art dealer. Ed Orgeron's an art dealer. And he's really good at it. And it's what I always say. If you need to make more money, get a job in sales because it'll make or break you. Sales will reveal your ability. No doubt. 47 straight. Everyone should have some Orgeron in them. Ed Orgeron, as he walks into an LSU sorority, probably. Not my best choice of words. Ed O is a master at recruiting. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. The admission office at Notre Dame trying to understand Coach O would be must-watch show on truTV. The most watched must-watch show. Right? Like, incredible. USC is not in Watts. It's let me get the exact correct. For those of us that have been to 1,000,001 USC games, what city is USC campus in? It is in Los Angeles. And it is in South Central Los Angeles. I don't know the exact name of the city, but University of Southern California. Now we're getting too detailed. Yes, it is in South Central. It is in the heart of South Central Los Angeles. Why am I questioning this? I've been there a gajillion times, bro. Like I know. Let's see. Is USC in? And it won't tell me. It won't tell me the exact city. I'm pretty sure it's in University Park. Like it is literally just go down the Harbor Freeway and it's just, what would that be? South and west of Los Angeles. I'm pretty sure it's University Park, but stupid Google AI won't tell me. It's not in a good neighborhood. It is not in a good neighborhood at all. And I think if you look at what's around it, like the campus is like the LA Coliseum complex is right next to, it's like the Stadium Exposition Park, like the BMO Stadium thing is right there. Like it's just, trust me when I tell you, it's in a very interesting neighborhood, is what I will say. So that's all you need to know. It's like Harbor Freeway, isn't the Harbor, the 110 and the 10. Yeah, 110 and the 10. University Park is pretty much where it is. So it's not a great neighborhood. Let's put it that way. It ain't Westwood. How about that? It ain't Westwood for those of you LA Angelinos. It's not Westwood. I can absolutely tell you that. And I think that's one of the things that makes USC great is where it is and how it's structured. So, it is in the University Park neighborhood, correct? Yes, USC is near South Central, but Watts is not South Central. Watts is near Compton, which is about 12 miles away, just like Beverly Hills. Yeah, Beverly Hills is not close, but not far. The Coliseum is right across the street from USC, essentially, but it is also the museum district right there. There's a new George Lucas museum going up. Yes. The Coliseum, if you haven't been to a game at the LA Coliseum and you have an opportunity, like do you guys understand? I'm 6'3". I can't walk through a tunnel in the LA Coliseum. Can't do it. Cannot walk through a tunnel in the Coliseum because it is that tight. So, I'm just saying. Anyway, all right. Let's get to this Myles Garrett trade because I think this is a foundational piece for the LA Rams. And one of the things I think is so interesting is that the reasoning for this is, and I hesitate to say these words out loud, the reasons behind the Cleveland Browns trading Myles Garrett make a lot of sense. And I know that Cleveland fans are in an interesting spot because I don't know many Cleveland fans that are upset about this. And just reading the reaction and looking at this deal on its face, it's actually a very good deal for the Cleveland Browns. You get out from a lot of money on Myles Garrett. And the tipping point is Myles Garrett is in that window where he's either going to plateau or he's going to go down. Nobody at his age and experience level is going up. The obvious point is Myles Garrett at this plateau is better than pretty much any edge rusher in the NFL, which makes it an incredibly good deal for the LA Rams. Now, you had to trade Jared Verse to get him. You had to trade a first-round pick to get him. But it makes a lot of sense. And if you follow Aaron Donald on social media, Aaron Donald put out a workout video yesterday that makes it seem awfully apparent that Aaron Donald wants to come back and play. Now, maybe he's just clickbaiting. I mean, who does that? But my point is, I think if you traded for Myles Garrett and you get Aaron Donald as a byproduct of that deal, it was worth twice the price. Because Aaron Donald is still in remarkable shape. And if he comes back, my guess is Aaron Donald was never really retired. He needed time to heal and recover, and he could not do that being a professional football player. If Aaron Donald comes back and you have Myles Garrett, that's the best defensive front in the NFL. And they're already elite offensively. Now, who knows what Puka Nacua is going to do this year after whatever this offseason's been for him. But if you get Myles Garrett still near, because I don't think he can possibly at this point with all the football he's played, you can't tell me he's still the very best version of Myles Garrett we've ever seen. But he doesn't need to be. If he is 90% of his best and putting on that Rams uniform in that stadium gives him a little extra juice, he's still the best defensive pass rusher in the NFL. And there are a few dudes you would take instead of him. Very few dudes you would take instead of him. And I want the Myles Garrett that tried to remove Mason Rudolph from the face of the earth. That's the guy that I want in the Rams. And if I can get 99 back on the field wearing a Rams uniform, yes, I will take that every single day. And happy to do it. Happy to do it. And I cannot for the life of me understand how the Cleveland Browns pulled this off. I have no idea how the Cleveland Browns were able to pull this off. I do not know. Because this is a remarkably competent move. It is a remarkably competent move from a group of human beings who, in general, are not remarkably competent football people. That's the reality of it. And I think if you're a Browns fan, today's a very good day. It's hard to see a guy like Myles Garrett never win really anything in Cleveland. Nothing. You essentially amounted to nothing as far as wins and losses go. But what this does for the Cleveland Browns is it clarifies their quarterback positioning. This gives you another first-round pick. This allows you a year to figure out, is Shedeur Sanders or somebody else on that roster, are they our quarterback of the future? Yes or no? And if it's not great, we'll get one in the draft because we have an extra draft pick. And if it is great, we'll address another position of need. But all this did was buy you time, bring you Verse, who I think Jared Verse is one of the best young defensive players in the NFL, regardless of position. This is an incredibly good move for the Browns. And I am really surprised that I am sitting here saying that. And yet, here we are. And I am very curious, what does this do for the Rams? Because I have to think, just looking at the numbers in Vegas, and I don't have the graphic for you, but looking at the numbers in Vegas, people believe that this is better for the Rams. And one guy who believes that is John Gruden.
Nice that Cleveland got Jared Verse, young pass rusher. He can come off the ball, man. And they get a first-round pick. But how about the Rams? God dang, you got to have a fourth quarter pass rush to win a championship. Why not go get the best one? Myles Garrett on the Rams? I want to know who their cap guy is. We got to get him a raise. How the hell do they do this?
I want to know who their cap guy is. Exactly right. Is John Gruden better at Barstool or better coaching? I think he's better at Barstool because he's right. This is an incredible coup for anybody involved. It's an incredible coup. It really is. It's incredible. Rock and rant. Jared Verse got the Ed OG tour only to find out he's playing in Cleveland. It's shocking to me that the Browns made a competent. This is a really good deal for the Browns, man. The fact that you're out from under his deal, you don't have the liability of an older player that's going to, as days go on, get injury prone because he plays a very physical style of football. Dude, I love this deal for them. I love everything about this deal for the Browns. I'm a huge fan of it. The Rams are going to be a nightmare, and the Bears won't trade for Crosby, and the Bears are still at least till 2033. We still have time to prevent Hammond. Dude. Go. This is what I'm going to say about the Bears, and I've avoided talking about this. We talked about it briefly yesterday. The Illinois legislature passed it through the Senate, but didn't even get a vote on it through the House. Who, again, if you can get it, it's good work. They don't come back in session until November unless a special session is called. Why this matters? The Bears stadium situation is in flux. They own the parcel of land in Arlington Heights where the racetrack used to be. They have a deal in place in Hammond. But here's the problem with the Bears stadium situation. The Bears are not asking Illinois any longer to pay for their stadium. They are asking to be relieved of property tax, which to this point, most people are reticent to do that. Most people are reticent to do that. And I think that's a huge mistake. You have gotten the Bears off of pay for 50% of my stadium. And you are now in a place with the Chicago Bears where you are simply asking them, the state of Illinois, the Chicago Bears, are asking the state of Illinois to remove their property tax. Why would you not do that? And now it looks like we're getting into tummy sticks with the city of Chicago, who doesn't want to let the Bears out of their lease at Soldier Field. And the real truth is, you're trying to build a stadium on a toxic waste site in Hammond, Indiana. Go do it. I'm at a point now where, fuck it. I'm going to lose the Bears. Well, let's see you lose the Bears. Because I still do not believe in any real world scenario, the Bears are better in Hammond, Indiana than they are in Arlington Heights. I don't see a scenario where that's the case. And if you think you can build, go look at the site. What is it? Wolf Creek. Go look at the site in Hammond. Do you understand the obstacles and the hurdles of building a stadium on that site? It is, I don't believe it is. They don't want to do that. And if they do, go ahead and do it. You have my full blessing. Knock yourself out. You go ahead and do that. because you're going to lose your ass on that site. And frankly, I will say again, if they move to Hammond, Indiana, I'm done with it. I'm not going to support the Bears. The minute that they announce they're moving to Hammond, Indiana, I will not support the Bears. It just is, it is what it is. And as I detailed yesterday, I have no joy in my sports fandom. And if the Bears move to Hammond, Indiana, I will not be a Bears fan anymore. As much as that hurts, I'm 53, and I have probably spent 51 years of my life loving the Chicago Bears, which I will no longer do if they move to Hammond, Indiana. It is treason. It is absolute treason. And I will not support it. I just cannot see myself doing that. You might as well go play in Green Bay. I cannot see doing that. There's just no way to support that. And I think what most people don't understand is it's unthinkable. This team should be on the lakefront in Chicago. They seem to not be able to work that out. Is that the mayor's fault, the governor's fault, Dad McCaskey's fault? No idea. Can't get worked out. But now you have a situation where the Illinois House of Representatives didn't want to vote, so they went home. See you in November. This is not going to cook until November. But here's my question. Okay, the session ended and you didn't get a vote. Weren't you moving to Indiana at that point? Then why did Chicago come back around? Oh, because Kevin Warren's a cock, allegedly. Kevin Warren, if you believe reports, Kevin Warren went behind the back of Bears ownership and reached out to the city of Chicago, Mayor Johnson and staff, as a last-ditch effort to see if they could salvage something in Chicago, which is where all this noise the last 10 days about the Bears moving into the city of Chicago or having an opportunity or working on something, and it was a complete disaster. It blew up in their faces. And it caused a row, and I think it's why we didn't get a vote in the House. Allegedly. My opinion is this is why we didn't get a vote in the House. And if Kevin Warren went behind the backs of ownership to the city of Chicago, that's treason. And Kevin Warren's going to tell you, well, Monty, I was just trying to keep the Bears in Chicago. Congratulations. You probably should have done that in concert with the owners of, the fucking Chicago Bears, instead of going on your own and going behind their backs to the mayor and staff allegedly trying to get a deal done. Nobody wants the Bears, including the Bears. Nobody wants the Bears to leave the city of Chicago. Nobody. But you can't figure out how to get it done. Is what it is. It is just so unthinkable that the Bears would move to Indiana and that the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago would let that happen. And they're telling you, well, Monty, it's just down the freeway. And it is. But this is like going from Sarah Palin's back porch to Russia. I don't care that I can see Hammond, Indiana from the Sears Tower. Why do I care? You're in Indiana. You're the fucking Indianapolis Colts now. Go be it. You're not the Chicago Bears anymore. You're not Walter Payton. You're not Ditka. You're not putting helmets on the lions in front of the Art Institute. You're not in Lake Forest, Illinois anymore. You're dead. You're not the Chicago Bears. It's not who you are. You're a traitor. And I will not support that team. I won't. And I know everybody's like, oh, yeah, you will. No, I will not. No, I will not. As much and as passionate as I love and am about the Chicago Bears, and I am, Walter Payton, Michael Jordan, Ryan Sandberg, Dennis Savard, and Jeremy Roenick. I grew up in a golden era of sports in Chicago, and it's fucking dead. It's dead. If the Bears move to Hammond, Indiana, cool, bro. I guess it was fun while it lasted. I'll watch less NFL football. I will not buy a script Chicago Bears hat ever again. I will not buy tickets to see them when they come to Seattle, as I will this year. I will not travel to Chicago to see the Bears. I will not go to St. Louis to see the Cubs, Hawks, and Chicago Bears in the same weekend as I have with Mrs. Monty. No. I will not do that. I will not do that again. And I've even, you know how bad it would be when Jerry Reinsdorf no longer sucks valuable air out of the ethos in this town? I will support the Chicago Bulls. I will never again, if they move to Hammond, Indiana, ever, even if there's a fire, ever support the Chicago Bears again. Just won't happen. You are a traitor. You are guilty of treason. I hope you fail miserably. I hope your stadium sinks into its toxic waste dump. I hope that you see nothing fruitful in Hammond, Indiana. You and the Colts can be neighbors. You might as, quite literally, you might as well move to fucking Calgary. Like, move to Canada. Don't move to Indiana. Don't move to Wisconsin, Iowa. Dude, you're the Chicago Bears. You really think you're going to take the name the Chicago Bears with you? Come on. People will laugh at you. People will laugh at you. Anyway, matchup throwdown. A joint venture on a new fancy Chicago stadium with Northwestern would have been a great for both teams. It doesn't work like that, though. And again, Northwestern, what was Northwestern's edict on Ryan Field? We want it on campus. And I can tell you, having lived a block away from the old Dyke Stadium, Northwestern needs to play in Evanston. We so easily now just write off the history and tradition of sports. Just write it off. Write off the history and tradition of sports. Don't need the Bears. Build the Cubs a new stadium too. Wrigley, Schmigley. Right? This is the kind, that's what you're talking about with the Chicago Bears. Do you understand the history of that team with that city? No, you clearly don't. It's wild to me that they would move to Hammond, Indiana. I'm sure the Jets and the Giants thought the same thing when they moved to New Jersey. Completely different. They didn't have real estate. This has been well documented and talked about. They didn't have the real estate. Right? And you look at the Shea Stadiums and the Yankee Stadiums, built essentially on top of each other. They needed a palace. But it's not at all the same thing. And yet the owners of the Bears want to be like, oh, it is. It's just Hammond, Indiana, just Uber down the freeway. So you can play in a dome stadium, which in and of itself, I think is an absolute tragedy. Why are we playing in a dome stadium? You're the Chicago Bears. Do you not remember a bright, sunshiny day when you were beating the hell out of the LA Rams and it started snowing on the lakefront on a bright, sunny day? I do. Do you remember this? Please, get out of here. Get out of here with your dome stadium bullshit. Please. It's so frustrating to me. Yeah, the White Sox want a new stadium. They're threatening to move. Heard Salt Lake City needs a team. Right? Like the White Sox, who cares? That is not the White Sox. Even when they won the World Series, that wasn't a White Sox town. Please. It's like moving the Packers to Milwaukee. You can't, the Packers are in, it's okay. No, this would be like moving the Packers to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and calling them the Yoopers. Indiana, it's a whole new state, my friends. It's not even comparable to that. It's ridiculous that you would take the Chicago Bears. It's ridiculous enough you'd take the Bears and move them to Arlington Heights. Ridiculous. It's even more ridiculous you would move them to Hammond, Indiana, you prick. There's no logic in that. There is no logic in that. I'm just telling you. None whatsoever. Like, yes, Covington, Kentucky. Yes. I'm so fed up with it. I am so fed up with it. And I'm not here for the excuses or the we tried. You didn't try hard enough. We tried. No, you didn't. You wanted to get paid. And you got paid. So now, Vladimir Putin can come to your games because you guys are traitors. I'm telling you, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Okay, can we let's end the show with a couple of pieces of goodness. Because I'm telling you, this West Virginia, this country road singing this is remarkable. This is one of the greatest moments. And I will say what I said when the show started. If you are not following the College World Series and the road to the College World Series and the Women's World Series, you're missing out. Because this moment right here, I'm telling you, it is fan-fucking-tastic that you get an entire audience singing for Jake's return to the show.
It couldn't have been celebrated better, dude. Couldn't have been celebrated better, bro.
It's incredible, man. And I think that's one of the great moments. And it is akin to, I'm telling you, it's akin to O Canada at Bell Center. If you guys have never seen O Canada, like at a Canadians game of leverage, it is incredible. It is just off the charts. And that last night just moves your soul. It absolutely moves your soul.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything you want, man. It's everything you want. And I think that national anthems are usually either really good or really bad. And that was like the pinnacle of, sounds amazing. Everyone's together, felt good. You won the game. What did they win it in 10? I think it was, I saw, it just incredible. Everything you want.
I'm telling you now that it is an incredible moment. This is what college football should be about. And it's not anymore. This is what Darren Peterson took from us. It is this professionalism in football and basketball that doesn't yet permeate softball. You look at this Mia Williams thing at Texas Tech yesterday. It's incredible.
book. Game 2. Let's go read a book. 2.
That asshole's yelling, let's go read a book. And what you imagine is, okay, let's go out to left field and we'll drink Capri Suns and eat orange slices now. That doesn't happen. But it's still that little league feeling where moms and dads and fans, and it still feels like that. And walking away from that is ridiculous. And the fact that she's doing that at Texas Tech and not doing that at Florida, and how ugly that's gotten, and then for her to do this after the game is crazy.
The best decisions I ever made. This is probably the best coach I ever played for. He just believes in me so much, and it makes me emotional talking about it, because just having that feeling of someone believing in you is just one of the best things ever, and I love him.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, she's caught so much heat, man. I mean, she's gotten thrown at. She's and then for them to win 2 games yesterday to move on in the tournament is crazy. I obviously have a direct connection to the softball world, but getting into that world a little bit and watching how these games play out, and then in addition to the baseball side, like it's literally everything you want. And if you're not watching it, you're completely missing out. 100%.
Yeah, I think it is. It's what we need. And Brandon Sorsby in his situation probably stole the show today.
So I was very happy to have this day in court for Brandon. He deserves his day in court.
I mean, Brandon does deserve his day in court. Listen, Joe Biden was a good precedent for us. He deserves his day in court. Go, Brandon.
Bro.
I
don't know who Brandon Sorsby is.
Like, how do you make, you're Jeffrey Kessler, how do you make that mistake?
Bo Dix is playing well.
I mean, how do you screw that up, man? I'll never understand. It's what you need. He then said he went to a parking lot and rolled a tide between games, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Hopefully all is okay being serious. What do you mean? What did I miss?
I don't know. What does he mean? I have no idea.
Just see you back. But damn, you could have put a nail in the wall in that 3 hours, or put up a sticky note. If all your stuff is on a truck, make a design or something. Are you no longer in the corner?
Nope. You guys all complained. So I moved the set to a flat wall yesterday. It's all set up and looks really good. And then, literally 90 seconds before the show is going to start, the power goes out. The power comes back earlier than it's supposed to. And, being the wonderful person that I am, living in the Mac ecosystem, unfortunately, when the power goes out, apparently there is an unintended consequence and side effect that sometimes Macs just don't accept the password you use to log on to them. So that took me about 40 minutes to work through that issue. But now everything's been resolved and everything's okay. So we can show up and finish the show for once.
Get your ass out of bed. 90 seconds before the show. You weren't here at all this morning. I never saw you once.
Yeah.
Show goes on. The show goes on.
I know. Yeah. I'm not leaving.
Yeah. I can't wait for Canes Golden Knights tonight, that I won't watch because I have to pass a real estate exam. So,
Come on, dude.
I'll have it on in the background, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Jake is out of the corner at least.
Mm-hmm.
True. Softball still feels good to watch for the purity of the game. They play for a little to no money for the love of the game, unless you're at Texas Tech and then you're making millions of dollars.
Yeah, you're getting paid.
Guy did a hell of a good job representing Tom Brady, to be fair. Jeffrey Kessler, yes, he did.
Notice that says Tim Brady, just because, we're getting the names
wrong.
It
does say Tim Brady.
It does say Tim Brady. Just want to point that out.
I can't read. Nobody puts Jake in the corner, signed Swayze and Dirty Dancing.
Right.
Kay Nuren, we all need to show love to everyone. We all make mistakes. No, we don't. You can't call Brendan Brandon. That came in the biggest court case of the college football year. You called Buddy Brandon. and he's paying you what has to be millions of dollars.
Just
I
not
don't even
paying
want to know.
Cincinnati. Just
Yeah,
not paying
it's
Cincinnati.
not paying Cincinnati. I don't want to know what Jeffrey Kessler's retainer is. I don't want to know what that is. You called him Brandon. And of all the names, because now the Let's Go Brandon memes with pictures of Sorsby are all over the place. Like
Hammer.
It's just, how do you do that? What are you doing? Where is your lady coaching now in Missouri, Jake?
She's in the private sector now. Took a job at a softballing facility, and I have to say it's quite nice. So we were very pleased with that.
Better than calling him Brenda. Could be. Joey says no hummus bars in Kansas City. Jake now is a meat heaven. Kansas City barbecue sucks.
Meat heaven?
Yeah, because that's all you're going to get.
Uh-huh.
Oh, our barbecue. Oh, my God, our barbecue, our brisket. Oh, God, our Tyson wings that are 8 cents. Going to charge you $1,000 for them.
Yeah, you're going to go full Bavacqua on that thing. Oh, man, it's incredible. Kansas barbecue mecca of the world in Kansas City. Yeah, sure. Okay. Right.
I hate Kansas City so much.
Right.
And we've talked about this on the show.
Well, yeah.
And that's not just because Jake moved there. I've talked about this for many, many years.
Oh, this has nothing to do with me. This is an age-old take.
I hate Kansas. I used to live in St. Louis, and I had to make that drive. I had to drive to Kansas City. I had to drive to Lawrence.
Of dog shit.
Oh, terrible. And all you ever hear about in Kansas City, did you get some barbecue? No. Toasted ravioli's better.
That's bullshit.
A-hole. Jake is getting the meat sweats.
Right. Yeah, the meat sweats after eating some barbecue, you know.
Before we go, I will say the meal prep that I made this week is day 2 pasta, ground turkey, mushroom, and onion with a little dollop of oat butter on top of it. It is so good. I'd also like, as a public service announcement, the grapes that Costco sells you have to get your red grapes, your red seedless grapes at Costco. They're just stupidly enjoyable. I made the mistake of going to Whole Paycheck and buying grapes.
A lot.
Yeah, they're moldy and soft, not good. You go to Whole Paycheck and you pay like $86 per grape. I still can't believe that was $200, but it is what it is. But you buy grapes at Costco, they're so much better, dude. Oh my God. I think they're called Candy Snaps, and they're so good. I mean, oh, it is so good. KC barbecue is basically ketchup. I hate it. I hate it so much. QT sucks. Barbecue sucks. The Chiefs suck. Arrowhead Stadium sucks. Kaufman's a dump. There's just nothing good that happens in Kansas City.
Is it better than Hammond, Indiana?
Because it's garbage.
Well, everything's better than Hammond, Indiana, except Kansas City barbecue, which tastes like it came from a toxic dump. I could tell you stories. So I went to a Kansas game many moons ago. This was 10 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, those drives where you're like, okay, cool, we're less than 50 miles away, and it just takes forever.
Yes.
And ever and ever and ever and ever. Like, there's just nothing. And then you get into small town Kansas City.
So I said, yeah.
Like, dudes are all sharpening their thumbnail just to, no, man. Not doing it. And that is where the lesson ends today. The Monty Show is always presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. Some good things happen in Kansas State, I'm sure.
Maybe.
Fine. Probably not. Don't forget, it's 100 most deadly days on the road. Please slow down. Please be careful. A lot of people on the roads, a lot of kids on the roads. Eliminate the distractions while you're driving. And the Advocates remind you, if you get in an accident, they will fight for you. Best part is you never reach into your pocket to pay the Advocates, Because you don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case. So go get yourself some clear, risk-free advice at theadvocates.com. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.